This is the old IDLER pulley assembly from my Toyota Land Cruiser with 200,000 miles. Today I'm going to show you how to replace this and the serpentine belt in under an hour. There are 4 steps to this project. We need to remove the engine cover, airbox, serpentine belt, and old IDLER pulley. Then we'll install the new pulley and put it all back together. Let's go. The first step is the easiest. We need to remove the 4 10mm nuts to take off the engine cover, which will give us space to get to the airbox assembly. After you have the engine cover off, undo the 4 clips holding down the airbox and disconnect the mass airflow sensor. There are a total of 2 10mm nuts and 4 air suction hoses that we need to remove. And we also need to loosen the clasp on the intake manifold, which I'm doing here. Sometimes the hoses get stuck. You can just use a flathead screwdriver to gently push those off. Once everything is removed, you should be able to move the entire airbox assembly and then pull it off. Now we're ready to remove the serpentine belt. You can see how the tensioner pulley works here, so that by pulling counterclockwise, we can release tension from the belt. This is a 14mm socket, and a longer ratchet will make this a lot easier. The only trick is that once you remove the belt, your ratchet will come back further than where you started. So as long as you're starting around 1 o'clock, you should have plenty of room to get the ratchet off. Here's how my IDLER pulley sounds with 200,000 miles on it. You can hear that dry kind of grinding sound as it spins, and that's not what we want. So you're going to remove this with a 14mm socket, and here's a look at mine once I got it off. You can tell that it's dirty, but actually in pretty good condition. I think that the bolt and the dust cover could have been reused. I got the bolt for $1 and the dust cover for I think $2 or $3, so I just decided to replace the entire assembly. Some people choose to press out the bearing and just replace that part to save some money, and that definitely works too. I was optimizing more for time here, so I just replaced the entire assembly, and here it is. One thing to note is that the pulley itself is not symmetric, and so it goes on in a certain way. You can see that this is the front side. The back side of it is a lot deeper and hollow, so just make sure you're installing it correctly. Tighten everything up by hand first, and then grab your torque wrench, and you're going to set it to 29 pounds-feet. Finish snugging everything up, and then wait for that satisfying torque wrench click. And now you can hear nothing because it has very thick grease and it's ready for another 200,000 miles. Now you can grab the new serpentine belt and route it around the pulleys, making sure that it's seated properly. There's going to be slack in the system until you put it back on the tensioner pulley using the same counterclockwise motion we did earlier. Don't forget that if for any reason you get lost, you have this reference diagram on the underside of the hood. Once you have the belt back on the tensioner pulley, you can reinstall the airbox and the engine cover. Go around and do one final check, and then you're ready to start the car. I went around the car one last time just to make sure that the belt was seated properly on all of the pulleys, and to check out the new pulley and make sure everything was looking good there. Once you're sure that everything is seated properly, that's it, you're done. Congratulate yourself on a job well done. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you've also done this job and you have any tips or tricks, leave it down in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.